Bitcoin is obviously going to zero. Obviously going to zero, man. Correct? Right, Tangent?
I disagree.
Really? It's going. Do you think it's going lower? Because I saw a tweet from you before, and you're like, "Oh, we're going to 30K or something."
So yeah. So I was looking. I so rarely look at prices not in US dollars that I didn't realize I had the Australian price chart up because of something else I had been doing. So that was still up, and I saw it was actually about to punch through 30K. So I wasn't thinking of the price. I just saw the level, and I tweeted that out saying we're about to kick 30K in the nuts, and then realized ages later that was the Australian dollar price.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I think we broke 30K on AUD. You know, the exchange rate has actually gone down. So Australian dollar crypto prices don't look as savage. Do you see what I'm saying? Like the drop hasn't been as bad when you look at it in Australian dollars.
Oh, because
use that as a cope mechanism, like you don't. But yeah, because of the change in the exchange rate, it's made.
What's the exchange rate at the moment? AUD.
I think it's 0.69.
Oh, really?
Yep. Yeah.
Because when you turn
it was like
you're pricing
0.74 or 0.72. It was around the sort of like 0.72, 0.73, 0.698 at the moment. So still below 0.7. What's the most important stuff going on in crypto right now?
Okay, so there's all sorts of
always.
I mean, to me, it just seems like there's lots of negative shit, like lots of centralized crypto entities. Like shit is hitting the fan with them.
Do you think people are going to learn,
bro,
not to hand their keys over to centralized?
But this is the only way. Like, unfortunately, it seems like it's the only way for the masses to get the right idea is to see like pain, death, and destruction, and then we need to be there to say, "Yo, remember that shit."
This is why. Yeah, this is why
we need to like remind them constantly. Like, hey, this, and if you think about it, that's sort of what the community does. We like constantly.
Yeah, we do. Did you hear that Celsius is trying to get a bailout? They're trying to organize a bailout, and it's apparently, I've heard it's not going well, but also they're trying to do like short squeezes on people, pardon me, who are trying to short Celsius. Some entity, probably like founders / team, are actively trying to wreck people who are shorting it. So you can see on the chart, it looks like short squeezes, you know? You shouldn't short crypto when it's down like over 95%. The only time it would have been reasonable to do that was in the case of Luna, because programmatically it was in a death spiral that you could show how it was just going to relentlessly go through that cycle until it was literally zero. There was an arb to zero, but the same cannot be said about Celsius. And then I also heard that Tron has got a similar coin, a stable coin with similar mechanics to Luna that could do a death spiral. So like their stables off peg. But the weird thing is
all these problems seem to have something to do with stables though, don't they? Like Luna had something to do with USDT.
That's right. Yeah. Once the stable went off peg, this other one, apparently the stable's been off peg at 97 cents for like an extended period of time. And to me, that indicates that it's not susceptible to the same attack, because a 3 cent difference is enough to get that arb going and get that death spiral going. So it's strange that it hasn't done it yet, unless the liquidity is small enough for them to artificially keep propping it back up. But if that was the case, then you would expect they'd actually be able to move it back to 1.0 and not just leave it.
If you're in crypto and you're posting some ridiculous shit, right? I guarantee you there's a hexagon screenshotting that for future reference. 100% guarantee it. There's one. There's like many thousands on Twitter.
What I like is scam investigator and investigators has become a respected and cheered on role within the crypto community. So guys like Zach XBT, CoffeeZilla, there are heaps of other people who are gaining high follower base, incredibly positive feedback. They're getting cheered on and respected. So that we didn't used to have that. So, and obviously I'm not even listing the number of people within the Hex community that fall under that category, because it's like nearly everyone, like everyone in Hex contributes to that kind of shit. So it would be hard to pinpoint exact people who do it within Hex, but also in the broader community. It's starting to become respected, and that's a good thing. I think that's going to really help, because it's going to shorten the lead time from between when someone launches a scam and when people are being educated about how that it is probably not a good idea to be invested in. So, and I think that's the most dangerous aspect of some of these things, is when they go on for a really, really long time. It means more people get hurt. They get hurt by a larger amount of dollars, and the contagion of how it can impact, the flow-on impact to the rest of crypto is also a higher damage. So if we can shorten that time frame, it just helps. So you're never going to be able to stop everyone from getting scammed, but we can definitely limit the damage and maybe get to a point where it just becomes not profitable enough for people to go through the effort of creating these scams.
But in crypto, even if you're the dumbest fuck in the world, you can just like buy some crypto for, you know, let's just say a few $1,000s and wait 5 years. And if it's the right crypto, you might just be fucking rich.
Yes.
Like 5 years, which is not like, but it's like get rich. It is get rich quick, but it's not like super fucking quick. Like people who get into crypto want it to be. Like if you want to get rich quick in crypto, not only do you need to get rich, do you need to buy the right crypto, but you need to buy it at the fucking like right time, just before it does its like massive.
Looking forward.
Nice, very nice.
Moves are taking place in the global monetary system that may affect the international role of the dollar in the future. Most major economies already have or are in the process of developing instant 24/7 payments. Our own FedNow service will be coming online in 2023. And in light of the tremendous growth in crypto assets and stablecoins, we are examining whether a U.S. central bank digital currency would improve upon what is an already safe and efficient domestic payment system. As our white paper on this topic notes, a U.S. CBDC will also potentially help maintain the dollar's international standing.
White paper.
There you go. Guys, real quick, this is already done. They're not thinking about it. It's done.
Damn, that's so funny to hear him drop
It's
white
done.
paper.
And most people are like, well, that's not a big deal. You know, banks are already kind of digitized. Everything's already kind of tracked. Here's why it's a big deal. They're going to gamify the system. When you can have the Federal Reserve, a privatized company that can immediately just say, hey, here's $10,000 that just shows up in your Fed wallet or whatever you want to call it, and you have to spend it within 2 weeks or it goes away, that's a dopamine hit. Right? That's a dopamine hit, and you have that ability to spend that money only if it's on specific things. So the control what you spend the money on, how you do it, when you do it, that is what this is bringing in and ushering in. So it's a big deal. The fact that he openly said that it's coming in 2023 and this is how we're going to be doing it is powerful, and a lot of people are still missing that. So it's a very important time to just be prepared, just like all the other stuff we talked about in the macro analysis before. This is like shouldn't be a surprise. I mean, it's a little crazy to hear it just being blatantly said like this, but it shouldn't be a surprise. This is something that I think you even talked about a couple of times. Central bank digital currency is coming, you know, and what that's going to mean and why they're going to have to do it, because when things break, they're going to have to come in and save the day. Who do you think is going to be open to CBDC? Do you think the American people who are thriving or the American people who are struggling to pay bills, make ends meet, and are getting crushed by inflation? Which group of people do you think are going to be more malleable and open to free money injected via a service like this?
It might have been actually. It might have come back. I think way back in the day, it was like, hey, eat as many meals as possible. That's a good thing, right? Keep fire going was like one of the big myths that was around, right? If you are eating more meals, you're keeping your metabolism stoked, and we need to stoke the fire so your metabolism doesn't slow down. And this was like one of the big, I think, narratives that was pushed around metabolism and eating, and probably the original one. So I think that one was going around, as well as you and I were talking about leucine and amino acid content of the proteins as it pertains to muscle protein synthesis, so ultimately muscle building. And probably this one's been around as long as I can remember, is that breakfast is the most important meal of the day, et cetera, right? So in order to be healthy, or even to have good outcomes in terms of weight, a lot of people were preaching that you should be eating breakfast for tons of reasons. I don't know, probably in high school, I bet you I heard that more meals or lots of small meals. Did you ever
Helps
hear?
lose weight.
Right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Lots of small meals to keep the fire burning it's just not necessarily the case.
You guys know what that is? So whenever you guys hear of really ridiculous dieting strategies that don't make sense per the studies and don't make sense from a mechanics or a game theory standpoint, it's like a rug pull. It's like a shitty rug pull project in crypto. It's going to get you wrecked.
Yeah.
When you're putting all of your emphasis and brain power and focus on things like meal timing or supplement use, etc., things that either don't matter at all or such a small percentage of your total progress that don't matter at all, once again, if the other stuff isn't focused on, you're going to get wrecked with the rug pull.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully this is an exciting answer, even though it's a boring answer, right?
Yeah.
The exciting answer is you don't have to min-max and worry about all these little tiny things going on, like meal timing. You can just focus on the one thing that matters the most and build your strategy and your setup around that. And you're not going to get rug pulled. You're not going to get wrecked.
I've got a video here just for anyone who just needed proof that Richard Hart's been warning people about rug pulls and the like. So let's just play this.
Because I'm trying not to just alienate extra communities with extra truth, but in this case, man, I'm telling you, if you have money in Celsius, pull it. If you have money in BlockFi, pull it. Or when you never get your money back, don't be surprised. Oh, they got a quarter order, you just don't get your money. Oh, they lost the keys, you don't get your money. This, like, how many times do you need to see this happen? So he's a smart guy, he's built successful businesses before, but I'm in crypto to empower you, not a company. Like, don't give other people your keys or they can steal all your money. It's not even your money anymore. It's their money, not your keys, not your coins. I can't be more clear. And I've been singing the song for years. Years. Do people listen? Some people listen. A lot of people don't.
I love that. Holy shit.
We fucking listen.
When was
I
that?
listened to that.
What an absolute legend.
I'm pretty sure I
That's
had.
a fairly old vid.
pretty
You can tell by the t-shirt he's wearing. Because he's not
Yeah,
wearing like
pretty
Gucci and Louis Vuitton and shit.
You can also tell by like how few Rolexes there are in the background.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So that video is fairly old.
Dude, he has been talking about it
and
for ages, man.
Notice how he did that. He said himself he did that reluctantly because he didn't want to alienate. He said alienate other communities. Like he doesn't want other founders to hate on his shit early while the coin was still in its infancy, right? And so even under that context, he was still calling it out. Powerful stuff.
There's so much scum and crap in this crypto game. There's so much crap. It's not as simple as just getting in and buying a few coins and just hoping for the best. The people who have done their due diligence with Richard Hart projects, Hex, if you've looked into it, if you've read the layman's guide, if you've read about it and not succumb to the nonsense that you can easily find by doing a Google search. Like you can very easily find like a lot of articles calling Hex a scam, and it's all nonsense. It's all nonsense because there could be in my opinion, there's no better crypto product out there. In my opinion, no better crypto product.
Agreed.
What I was gonna say was early on, like after Richard Hart said something like that. I'm not sure if it was that one, but he said something like that about BlockFi, and I was just like pulling my stuff straight out of BlockFi.
I never used BlockFi. In fact, I never used Celsius either.
I've not been able to bring myself to use. So I've got a credit card for crypto.com. I just can't leave
Same.
funds on there.
Same. I've got one.
I just don't trust leaving funds on there of any significant amount.
I do. I use that card. And there was one time where something went wrong, where some funds got hacked or lost or some shit. And they shielded everyone, like they shielded the card users from having any kind of impact. And I think they even reimbursed the people. So, but obviously that was when the bull market was still reasonably strong, like, or sorry, not bull market strong, but prices were reasonably strong. So
yeah.
I got another clip that I always want to go back to, because I think that this clip is the most significant thing that Richard Hart has said in the last 3 years.
In t.me/PulseXCom, and we're just winning the game. I mean, you look at these sacrifice addresses for PulseChain and PulseX, and they've got over $650 million of stablecoins sitting in there. Now, isn't that funny? Stablecoins during a bear market. Genius. That's a nice thing. By the way, when Bitcoin had dropped,
I love that.
You are right. You are right. He sold a lot of the crypto that was sacrificed that wasn't Hex. He sold it. He dumped it into stables, and now those projects are wrecked. The inconsistency and hypocrisy of these people within crypto that would accuse Hex of being a scam or just not talk about it at all, and then act like all these other, like that everything else was legit. So that to me was so much more disgusting than maxis that just call everything a scam that's not Bitcoin. That at least they're consistent. Whereas these idiots were acting like all these other projects were completely legit, talking about it like it's like this innovative technology, and then just not applying the same logic to Hex. Because if they did, then they would be like, Hex is better. Hex is way better. Like way better. So it wasn't just inconsistent. It was like completely arse about. And that has just annoyed me the entire time. And now they're going to learn. Now they're going to learn the hard way. It's just sad that we all get fucked because of that contagion risk that spread out and wrecked all of crypto. We're all getting smashed by their dumbasses.
It's more they get triggered by him, like everything he's wearing. Honestly, it's that simple.
I saw what you're saying is right, Bluey, because I actually saw a clip of some podcasters who were just tearing into him, and one of them's actually like a super prominent comedian, but he's a well-known, like I knew his name. He's like a comedian from the US, and he does like a podcast with some other guys. They just talk about investing in crypto, and they were just like tearing into him because, basically the reason.
Basically, they say you just look at him. You just look at him, and it's obviously a scam.
Yeah. It's like what kind of person, what kind of person is going to put the price tag of their tracksuit? It's like, bros, the fact that you noticed it is the whole.
It's working.
That's the whole point.
That's exactly what I was thinking when I was in these Twitter spaces. They were going on about Richard and Hex for literally an hour, a good hour. It was a space set up for Celsius, and Richard was in their heads for like 1 hour.
I reached out to DOSBomb last week and wanted to see if he, Wake Up Hex wanted to cover this. But you probably, if you've been on Twitter any or listened to a couple of Richard's most recent streams, he's mentioned that we've been involved in doing some direct mail marketing. And this is different from the Ledger stuff. This is actually physical postcards that are being mailed to some of the richest zip codes in the United States. And as of the month of May, there's been about 250,000 cards that have been sent out. And they've targeted zip codes in Florida and California and New York and a few other places. But essentially, the card is a promotional tool for Hex, and there's a picture of it. It's very basic, but very, very eye-catching. And it just covers the basics of what Hex is, and it's just to catch somebody's eye and get them intrigued. Maybe 99% of these probably end up in the trash, frankly, but it's all about brand recognition and getting that planting that seed in somebody's head. So,
Excuse me. Speaking of eye catching, may we see the card one more time, please? Yeah. Why is the nuclear family looking at a nuclear blast?
No, it's the hex gains.
Oh, of course.
And who came up with the
future.
sending
No,
address
I'm not
of
actually
99
sure how
Wall
the art
Street?
came
That is
about,
brilliant.
but this is actually a project that was spearheaded by Togosh, who's a pretty big behind-the-scenes guy in the community, and he's done these postcards, he's done Hex Radio, Hex Daily Stats.
Nice. Yes, the little girl with the striped shirt and the overalls, very Americana.
We ship them out. We've sent them out to throughout the most wealthiest zip codes, but not just the wealthiest zip codes, but the routes. Because you have like one zip code, and within that zip code, there's different routes. So our database lets us know the medium income of each route, and we selected anything above 100K. So we've done that. Togosh, I don't know how you pronounce that. Togosh and I, we've been sending it out to, like Victor said, it was like a $250,000 we sent out, and we have a spreadsheet that anybody could go check out and see all the zip codes that we've sent to. And there was some that we sent to the entire zip code, including the ones that were below 100K, because we could get the cost down to 0.26 cents. And when you look at anywhere else, that's, you're never going to get that rate anywhere else. And the thing is that I myself, this is what I do for a living. I'm a marketing and promotional guy. I print stuff, but I work with printers. The more work I send to them, the better the price that they give me. And then that is one of the top people that do this in the country. And they've been able to work out a deal with the United States Post Service to get an even better rate for the amount that they send out. So we're kind of piggybacking off their bulk discount. So we sent it to $250,000, and but what this is not my decision, but my opinion is that the way marketing works is that you got to keep hitting the same people over, repetition more times. Because how many times have you received something and you ignore it, you throw it away or whatever? There's too much advertising going on now. So, I felt like we were spreading ourselves thin by hitting up so many zip codes. But, that's up to whoever wants to donate and decides to do this.
The spreadsheet that you can see right now is the spreadsheet that is available in the Telegram group. If you go in there, you can open it. You can see, you can participate. You have all the zip codes, the city, state, median home, average income, all the information, how much it costs, what it's like to send there, who you have to contact. You have the printer companies, the printers who are printing. You have all the contact information, how much it costs, for example, for your zip code and so on. There are the zip rates as well, so you can play around with that information, maybe participate just in your area code, or you want to target some super rich, wealthy zip code, or maybe you want even to expand the list. Go participate, bring in the information that you can contribute, that you think you can contribute, and it will help everybody. Maybe for your own country, maybe for your, I don't know, for your boat. Or your, or what is it called? This a yard, right? A shipyard.
A shipyard?
Maybe,
What are you talking about?
Shipyard.
Yeah, that's where the yachts are. You know, you hand it out.
Shipyard, right?
Yeah, at the shipyard.
I would strongly suggest that you guys try direct marketing. This brand stuff, it's awesome. It's fun. It's exciting. But direct marketing is beautiful. Call to action, unique benefit statement, time limited offer. I love it. I love those things. So consider it. Strongly consider direct marketing. I mean, think about how amazing our community is, how amazing the things are that we're involved with, and how many more people would benefit by participating. Spreading the word is the best thing any hex can.
And a lot of the text on the actual cards was actually taken directly from the website, as I understand. But we held a contest a couple weeks ago where people were submitting actually new designs and different artwork and stuff on how to use different postcards. And so there's a lot of different designs out there that people could run with if they don't like this design in particular. But yeah, I mean, like the most important thing, and I've told DOSBomb this, the most important thing I wanted to get on this on Wake Up Hex is just to inform people about what's going on and how they can help and know about it.
Volkswagen lies und testing wird
Volkswagen Gang Connect. I'm a Volkswagen guy too.
There we go.
Golf.
I was
Auto.
old school. I had a Type 4 1971 Volkswagen.
It's just the right,
It was
it's
beautiful.
just the right amount of everything. It has all the features you want. It's stylish. It drives well. It has all the security you need. Like there is good service. Like just delicious. Just
But
good.
the engines
all around.
lasts quite long.
Yeah, that too.
They didn't cheat. It turned on when they performed the test. So like it was on
Yeah.
during the test. So what the hell?
I actually love the idea of that.
Were problematic.
Was very
Yes.
smart actually.
It's super smart. I love that.
Legality of it.
But from an environmental perspective, of course, maybe
Like-
it's not.
Like a
Lambo
plane.
back.
Lambo
He wrote
back,
he's
yeah.
lamboned when your back hurts from driving the Lambo.
Oh, I see what you did there.
It's a good one.
Just the phone, nothing else. No film crew. No, can't
No,
be.
no Ferrari.
Film crew.
Well, maybe she sold the top. Who knows?
Yeah, you need to put something in there too. And,
Ooh.
That's deep.
and everybody's freaking out about Matt Damon and the advertisements that he did.
Well,
The
he's a grown man.
Super Bowl.
He can do whatever he likes.
People just can't divide the actor from the actual person behind this. It's a job for him, people. He's an actor. He acted something. He was asked for it. He got paid for it. He probably doesn't even ever use Crypto.com himself. It's an act. Oh, on Mars, like
Yeah.
on Mars. Wow. We're not here for alpha. Even the name is even
alpha.
memes are back in town. What alpha are you talking about?
But I don't know. Some of these people take very much pride and they say they only advertise for stuff that they would use themselves or whatever. But maybe it's not him. I don't know.
Says every YouTuber advertising.
Yeah.
Only
advertising
better.
everything.
No, apparently we're a C team, so you get only Zeta.
Oh, we're the C team.
Yeah,
What the
you're-
Zeta.
What kind of comment
get
is that, C
Zeta.
team?
So
We're definitely Delta.
ABC.
Gamma.
Guys, everybody, all your channels and creators of shows on television, listen up. Next big idea. Singing to the stars and so on, but with crypto. Everybody's getting 10,000 starting amount of dollars. He has to make a crypto portfolio and then go invest in all the shitcoins out there. You know, do the whole thing, stake, trade. He has to go do ICOs, everything, maybe even create a coin, like pay developers and so on. And then after 1 year, we see where it's at. Which star made the most money in that 1 year? Big idea. I give it to you for free.
It's worth every penny.
Okay, breaking news.
Yes.
In a historic win for gun rights, Supreme Court rules the New York draconian restrictions are unconstitutional. Carry on.
Oh, yay.
The beard
That's
has
funny.
arrived.
Oh boy, here we go.
Go
Richard
shave.
has taken off his beard, Beardly. What do you
Go
think?
shave, beard.
Well, maybe while you're throwing it, the slide catches a bullet and it saves you. You can't do that with shoes.
That's
I mean, come
true.
on.
That's true.
What's going on in this picture, please?
Changing
It's just
time?
saying. Look at my $5,000 tire. I don't know.
Wiz is
I'm
killing it.
Big
tired
CP
of
tire.
this. I'm tired.
Wiz is killing
Nice.
it today.
Part-time job at Jiffy Lube.
Let's just swap this tire out.
Moly. Moly oils.
Business and finance trending hacks 3,500 tweets. This is how it started.
We did it. We did it.
Yay.
And then another update was 15,000.
Ooh, okay, that's better.
Yep.
Nice.
Fascinating conversation you're having, but I got a hex question for you.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh, finally, we're a crypto
Totally
show
deal with
again.
that, yeah. Thank God.
Yeah. So I'm watching this podcast today with Robert Kiyosaki and George Gammon, and they were talking about the assets that they hold, and they're real estate guys, and they were talking about how they never sell, especially the ones that they rent out to tenants, because it pays them to hold it. Plus it appreciates in value over time, just like Hex, right? Your T shares are paying you to hold them, to stake them, and the Hex appreciates over time. But what he was saying is that if he wants to go buy a Ferrari, he doesn't,
he doesn't
go buy one.
Ferrari. He goes
Right.
and
He
buys
buys
the asset that cash flows to be able to pay for it.
and then the tenants basically pay for his Ferrari. So how do I make my T shares pay? Say I want to go buy a Harley Davidson. How do I take a loan against that and let my T shares pay for them and never
wanna
sell
take
my
a loan
Hex?
against it. You never want to take a loan against it.
So how do I never sell my Hex? Basically, they were saying they never sell an asset that pays them to hold it.
So the difference here is you're comparing one that it's an asset that pays in cash. This is a like kind. So when you're staking your Hex, you're getting paid in like kind. So I would never sell the principal is the closest concept you can get to that with Hex.
And we're not there yet. We're not at a place where we could do something like they do in real estate, because he's saying he doesn't flip the houses.
You got to understand though, the asset itself is the house, the real estate.
Right.
It provides a cash flow.
It's cash flow.
Hex doesn't provide a cash flow unless you sell the like kind that it is paid out in. So you're comparing apples and oranges here.
Right.
But what you don't want to do is you don't ever want to get rid of your principal. If you can restake, now, not financial advice. Everybody's situation is different. Maybe there's your tax situation or the jurisdiction you're in it dictates different rules for you that makes it different for your situation. But me and my situation, I never want to sell my principal. It's only the yield, the like kind Hex that has been paid to me for staking that I want to actually, I don't want to sell if I don't have to, but if I'm going to need that cash flow, you have to sell the like kind that, the fruit of the orchard that has been paid to you via.
Now you can take it and buy an asset that will bring you that cash flow.
Right.
So that is
take your Hex and buy a
great
property.
point right there. So I'm actually looking right now at going back into real estate pretty heavy. Now I'm looking for deals. If you listen to anything with Robert Kiyosaki, he talks about just putting into practice what he preaches, and he's always looking for a deal that he doesn't have to come out of pocket for. And I can give you 100 different examples of how that works. So not putting a 20% down for a rental unit. And he's always looking for a way that the asset ends up paying for itself and he doesn't come out of pocket for anything. So I'm looking for that so I don't have to sell Hex to do that. But you can use your yield to buy these assets and get that cash flow. And then if you have enough assets that are cash flowing, you'll never have to sell your Hex anyway. Just keep rolling it to the end of your stake ladder. And I always recommend a stake ladder to everyone. I haven't found a situation where it isn't a good idea. You just don't want to get diluted with longer pays better stakes that are outpaying you in the long run.
Yeah. And if you look at what Robert and Ken are doing, what they're doing is so imagine this: you take your stake, maybe just your interest, and you go get yourself a duplex or something, and you appreciate the value of it. You can do that. And what these guys do, and if you watch their shows long enough, you'll see what it is that their plan is and how they set themselves up in real estate, is they appreciate the value of that property. They take a loan out on that property against the appreciated value. They roll that back into another property, and then they depreciate the value of the property that they purchased the first time for the next 24 years, I believe it is. So 27 years, and they fix their tax basis on that because of that. And they got another property, and the money they're using is borrowed money, so it's tax free. So
yeah, that's
kind of
that's kind of what I was wondering about. If there's something in crypto that exists like that, where I could take a loan against my asset, and then my T-shares
The problem
would just
with loans and
pay
crypto
for that.
is the volatility. So until there's a crypto that isn't volatile, the problem with that is that you can get liquidated out of your position and end up owing on the loan if your underlying asset that you are using as collateral for the loan depreciates in value so much, they want a certain ratio. Either they're going to have to put in more capital to continue to secure that loan, or they're going to liquidate it and keep your crypto. And in a lot of these crypto loans, the problem is you're 100% loan to value on these. Sometimes you're over leveraged 110, 120%. You depreciate with the volatility enough in the USD value of that underlying asset, and they'll literally just liquidate it and say, okay, you keep what we loaned to you, and then they keep the 20% spread that you over collateralized. So
and then you just lost everything, basically.
And then you just lost more than you initially put up. Yep.
Yeah,
right. It's not a fixed rate. It's not like boom, I loaned it at this price.
The other side of that is, someone might say, well, why not use a stable coin as your collateral? Well, why do you own stable coins other than as a medium exchanger to park a monetary value there temporarily until you can get into the next thing? But there's no point in having that you might as well be in cash, so to speak, if you're going to leave it there, because there's no price appreciation that's possible with that.
So you're basically you're restaking your principal and taking all the APY, all your yield your T-shares gave you during the stake, and taking that and using that as your money to go invest in whatever you want or buy your new car or whatever like 100%. That. That's okay.
Yep.
I'm getting
so
it.
I'm looking at the yield without selling any of my principal, without selling any of the initial hex that I have staked. I'm looking at that yield and rolling it into assets that create cash flow. Okay. And then actually, once I have cash flow from these other assets that I bought, then you come in and you can buy more of the underlying asset and more principal for more stakes in hex, and you can roll them out longer. In fact, it's funny, we're going to be covering a lot of these concepts in our new channel. We're waiting. Okay, so for all of you guys who are going to say Kinetics can't tell us anything, I did an interview with Robert Kiyosaki. We are waiting for the approval from his team. His team has final rights to approve or disapprove of the content that we created. And then once we get the content approved, we're going to go ahead and launch our new financial channel, because there's going to be a lot more of a demographic for personal finance, and we're going to cover a lot of these financial concepts, and we're going to have a crypto twist to it where a lot of these other personal finance channels don't, or they just touch on it like, hey, I just hold on to Bitcoin in my Coinbase account forever, which we all know, not your keys, not your crypto. So we're going to have much more of a sovereign approach to that. We're going to do some cool stuff too. We're going to show some days of us out at the gun range and our everyday carry, what kind of guns we carry, what kind of tools we carry with us. We're going to have a lot more of a masculine vibe to it than some of the weak sissy stuff we see out there. But we're pretty excited about this new channel, and we will get into more of these financial concepts and how you can leverage your crypto holdings to buy some of these other assets.
Dude, that sounds good. I'll be checking that out for sure, man.
I appreciate that, man. Well, we're really excited about it. I'll announce the name here very shortly, and we're literally lining up like 2 months worth of content so that it is scheduled, ready to go. And because that's what the YouTube algorithm likes, is that once you launch the moment you launch a channel, they want it to be back to back to back content. So we're just getting all of that content put together now so that it's ready to go, and then we can just get that virality of being on the front page. So cool. We're working on that now. But yeah, those are great questions, DMT. I love it, man, because those are my guys. I love those guys. We've hung out with Gammon and Kiyosaki and Ken McElroy and Jason Hartman. Jason Hartman saying, as Captain RG3 was talking about the concept, it's his motto is refi till you die. So
Right on.
might as well continue refining out that equity, living off the equity because it's part of a loan, and you still cash flow at the same time.
Awesome. Hey, man, I appreciate the advice, man. I'm going to hop off here and get back to work, man.
It's a pleasure to see you, brother. Thanks for
All right.
coming, DMT. This is like your
You
third
bet.
time on here. I love it, man.
I know,
Come on
right?
anytime.
Right on. Peace. Thanks.
See you soon, brother.